Attention hard-working individuals. Were you unjustly let go, unfairly, and need an experienced lawyer who is on your side? You have rights. According to the laws of the state of California, if you were let go in the last year, call right now to the offices of Sahag Majarian, 1-800-485-1049. Know your rights. Call 1-800-485-1049. If you are working more than 10 hours a day, you are legally entitled to 2 meal breaks and 3 rest breaks. Your employer should not make you pass any security checkpoint or review your belongings after your shift. When you are let go, you should be paid the same day that you are terminated, and they should pay you what is owed, including vacation and commissions. Call now for a free consultation at 1-800-485-1049. Your legal status is not important. Call now, 1-800-485-1049. If they don't win your case, you pay nothing. Call now, 1-800-485-1049.
And plenty of job opportunities. At Nightingale College, you can earn that degree in as few as 32 months from the comfort of your own home. Nightingale College is a pioneer in online nursing education, blending both online classes with on-ground supervised field experience. Nurses are strong. Become one at Nightingale College today. Visit us at nightingale.edu.
Job worth talking about? Teaching is creative, collaborative, intellectually challenging, and every day is new. See why teachers have better work stories by going to teach.org and learn more about becoming a teacher. Brought to you by teach.org and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pacey. I gotta tell you, the amazing job Infinite Energy did with my new house. They completely rewired the electrical. They did solar for so much less than I thought it would be. And I highly recommend you right now go solar with Infinite Energy and take advantage of the 26% tax credit on a new solar system. This is going to end by the end of the year, and the install has to happen before December 31st, so book right now. Also, financing as low as 1.9% APR or no payment, no interest, no down payments for 2 years. 833 no PGE for you.
Is born. At Kaiser Permanente, we support you before, during, and after. We deliver over 100,000 babies a year, offering top-notch prenatal, postpartum, and pediatric care. While you're planning a family and when you finally have one, we're here to help. Kaiser Permanente, tomorrow's healthcare, today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
They are offering sign-on bonuses up to $3,000 and hourly pay up to $22 per hour. You'll bring home a great weekly paycheck, and many jobs come with benefits that start on your first day. That's higher pay, sign-on bonuses, benefits day one. And you'll be part of a safe and inclusive workplace ranked among the best in the world. Go to Amazon.com/apply to start your job search today. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Your journey starts with a savings account and dreams of the future. Then your first car and starting your career. Next, you're buying your first home, possibly opening your own business, and saving for your children's future. Throughout your life journey, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to support you with youth accounts, extensive loan programs, the latest in digital technology, business banking, and retirement services. We are your lifelong financial partner. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
That's the sound of a multitasking family. Sure, you might think they're only at an aquarium, making funny fish faces, but they're also rebuilding our economy. You see, this family lives in California, and they're on vacation in California, so they're contributing to our recovery one giggle at a time. We're calling on all Californians to join in. Keep your vacation here and help our whole state get back to work. Find out how to travel responsibly at visitcalifornia.com.
Because it keeps everything and everybody in your house connected. We're now officially into fall. A lot more things are being done indoors, and that means a lot more internet activity. As if you didn't have enough. Gaming, streaming, uploading, downloading, video chats, which, now that my son is moving clear across the country, I'll be into knee-deep. Whether it's movies, shows, video games online, uploading videos to your family, downloading videos they send you, Xfinity Internet is super fast, and it keeps everything and everybody connected. Xfinity Internet, it's a game changer. Get the speed you need to power all of your devices with Xfinity. Get started with a great offer for Xfinity Internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Or ask about Wi-Fi speed faster than a gig. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Requires paperless billing and auto pay, ends 10/18/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
Fall is here, and winter is just around the corner. Hey, is your furnace ready? Is it safe, reliable, efficient? Why not get the answers from the pros at Rayo Cook Heating and Air? For only $89, Rayo Cook will perform their digital heating service. This is where multiple wireless sensors are temporarily attached to your system, and 100 crucial checks are performed in minutes, providing the answers. So set your $89 digital service appointment today at RayoCook.com. That's RayoCook.com.
And it's looking brighter because SMUD's improving our air.
By 2030, SMUD will be 100% carbon-free, so you can live in a clean power city. Join the charge at cleanpowercity.org.
There's a place where actions speak louder, jackpots echo throughout, and the thrill of it all is thunderous. Thunder Valley Casino Resort, where more than 3,000 slots, 100 table games, all new bingo and poker rooms blend with award-winning dining, and triple for dining luxury, winning big is a song. Thunder Valley Casino Resort, live out loud. Gambling problem, call 800-522-4700.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Justwin with Big C. This is Charlton X. Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network and the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C. And a lot of good boys around the country. I want to say bienvenidos to all of our Latin friends and Latin America, also across the pond in London, England, as well as Paris, France, of course. We love you in Canada and Africa, the Big C Squad. But there's no we love more the good boys around the country. In the land of the free and the home of the brave and the beautiful. I think it's October the 12th, 2021. Round of the court days. You know what? William Shatner did not go into space today. I was going to say, welcome to the liftoff of Software Level War. But they chose not to go into space. He said, wait a minute, I'm 90. I've already gone to know, like, got boldly go where no man has gone before. Now, hold on. Here's a guy, I think this is funny. Here's a guy, the Captain Kirk of the Starship Enterprise, William Shatner. They go into warp speed. But now he couldn't even go into outer space because he said, hold on, I have a tummy ache. I just thought that was funny. They were going to make the William Shatner, Captain Kirk of Star Trek, go into outer space today. And he couldn't do it because he got a tummy ache. Even though he's been at warp speed. If no one finds that funny, at least I do. Software Level War. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers. Home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. If you go by and test drive, you'll tell them Broughton and Big C Simpson, as well as a fleet of Cadillac cars. Also, all around the world, say 17 podcast applications, whether it's on Google Podcast, Alexa Podcast, Apple Podcast, whether it's Spotify, Speaker Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcast, CastBox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict Podchaser. You can find us on Geo Savan Podcast out of London, England, Podtail Podcast, Hubhopper. There's also a CastBox Podcast. I think I mentioned that already. And then there's Stitcher Podcast, Radio Online Podcast, and then Luminary Podcast, as well as coming to Facebook Podcast. It's all fair and level. It's a part of Zuckerberg into everything. It's all fair and level war. As I say, all of our national sponsors really appreciate that. You can also follow Big C Sports on TV. That's right, TV. Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. Really appreciate that. I know a lot of people are into Ancestry.com. I have my own set of Ancestry. We don't charge you for hours. Ours is free. F-R-E-E free. It's all fair and level war. I pay homage to my family legacy. Mamo, the matriarch of the family, kept everybody together. Also said, boy, go to the switch. If that makes sense. And then my great-grandfather, Pop, former Negro League baseball player, give him all some praise. My mother, I have a beautiful mother called Mudia. She was a seer. She could see things before they happen and tell you how to stay out of trouble. Also, my grandfather, Hezekiah. And my beautiful mother also started a Head Start program in Central California, as well as won a Little League championship. Give us some praise. The only woman, African-American woman, in the Little League system, and won a Little League championship. We won a championship for the universe. Really appreciate that. On my father's side, Albert Curry, the patriarch of the family, is a pastor, also owns service stations in Oakland, California. And then Alberta Curry, the matriarch of the family on my father's side, kept things together, helping my grandfather run a tight ship. Also, one was closer than my father, retired Air Force fighter pilot mechanic with United States Air Force. All fair level work, goodness and praise, and that was free. That didn't cost you anything. That's all fair level. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show, Big C Sports SP nominated Big C Sports Podcast, the #1 sports show in the universe. You say, yeah, right. Well, let me ask you to do it. No scripts, no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear, no one looking at my emails with what John Gruden said. You blip, blah, blah, blah. Loose lipstick tips. You won't find any of that in my background. I also pay homage to my son, Malcolm, who sends me stats, especially for the NBA. Really appreciate that. As well as college basketball. My daughter, Daisy, at times will help me set up sporting events. And Big C in the past also with his knowledge. I really want to say, reason why SB nominated by Disney Corporation. Welcome to the show. I produce, #1. #2, I direct all the topics. #3, I broadcast every show as much as I can. That makes me at least I got off the ground. William Chapman didn't get off the ground. If he ran the Starship Enterprise, and he couldn't get off the ground. But I got off the ground today with Big C's Sports. I do all the sound effects and speech, but then I break the concentration. All right, yes, who's coming to dinner. I do all the commercials outside of what the agency does. I do the storytelling. Excuse me, we have liftoff. No, I got a tummy ache. William Chapman had a tummy ache. I think that's funny. He said, boldly go the Starship Enterprise to reach out to new frontiers and to boldly go where no man has gone before. And then he has Spock. I mean, come on, but he couldn't get out of space, because he got a tummy ache. Some things are not real. I thought Star Trek was real. I really believe they had a real Starship Enterprise until like last year. Oh, fair. It's funny. Captain Kirk with the Starship Enterprise, the toughest guy in the universe. He's taking on Klingons. He's taking on Romulans. Beat them all. They put him in a real spaceship and said, let's see if we can get you out of space. And he said, I think that's funny. Maybe I'm the only one that does. Oh, fair. It's nothing where I do the play-by-play. Touchdown, home run, 3-point Blake. Oh, man, Willie, he's going all the way. You have to be an old-time Raiders fan to hear that. Oh, my goodness, what did they think of Just Gruden saying? What are all you black guys with these big lips singing on shit? Come on. At some point, I'm going to talk about some things on Gruden. Because I met Gruden when he started with the Raiders back in the early 2000s. Actually, it's the late 90s in the Raiders locker room. There was Al Davis who was yelling at John Gruden about something. And it's amazing how things change. What goes on in the dark comes out in the light at times. It's unfortunate, but I think it's nothing new when you hear that white boy privilege where they have that. There are so many things that go on. I've known a lot of white people that went to college that smoking drugs, doing marijuana, cocaine, LSD, ecstasy. None of them went to jail. Not one. And there were a couple of black kids that were just pulled over because they had you look suspicious. And I was one of them. Never smoked dope, never did marijuana, never did any of that junk. Pulled over because I looked suspicious. I know a lot of white people. Drunk, drinking and driving. You can go to a bar now. People who are drinking and driving right after they leave the bar. They don't get pulled over. They do it with impunity. How did John Gruden get that kind of money? And he had, $40 million over 4 years? And he has that type of nasty background, a lot of enmity for people who don't look like him. It's crazy. I never missed a show since September 12, 2015, starting Big C Sports. Welcome to the show. It's all fair. And Leavenworth started at State of the Media on one platform. Now have 17 podcast platforms, really 18, but I haven't got that signed yet for the 18th one, and then 4 TV platforms. And that's just one black man who's not been banned because I said no bad emails to anyone but the Washington football team organization. Always honest about every show. I said, now one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Genesis 13:15. For all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever. And Book of James 4 verse 2 said, we have not because we ask not. So just ask. If there's anything you want in life, just ask. The answer is either yes or no. But if you don't ask, then of course it's no. So make sure you ask. I will always ask every single one of you to call the Veterans Crisis Hotline, because their experience helping veterans and their loved ones help people know everybody needs help nowadays. People having issues. If Captain Kirk can't get out in the space booth, who are you? I just think that's funny. He had a tummy ache when they put him on a real spaceship. You're on fucking Star Trek was real. The Veterans Crisis Hotline, 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And you can definitely get some help for our veterans and their loved ones. Also very happy to be affiliated with Valley, home with weekly TV on Dish TV, Direct TV, AT&T Uverse, TV on the first place, San Francisco Giants. Oh my God, and the home run king, Barry Bonds, and the Say Hey Kid. The home run king, the Say Hey Kid, Barry Bonds, give him all some praise. I think the Dodgers get it done tonight, though. That's the best of being. I don't see them losing 2 in a row. The 2 out of 3 games that the Giants won, they shut out the Dodgers. Give the Giants defense some praise. People talk about, oh my God, what pitching they have and what defense they have. And they do. Crawford went high like Michael Jordan last night to get a ball that was going to go out in the left field. And Mookie Betts couldn't get on the base because Crawford did his thing up for the MVP, in my opinion. But what a great baseball game. Also, when you reach out to him, just tell him Big C wants those World Series tickets. It is coming to San Francisco. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I do want those tickets. I've been calling for it all year long. You got to believe, you got to believe, you got to believe. I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting my name on the media pass for the San Francisco Giants with Big C Sports. Really appreciate that. I should, because I was there when you opened the stadium. Back in the 2000s, it was called Pac-Ball Park at that time. I still got some pictures of it. All fair and love and war. I was there for some of that first game, and now I'm going to be there for the World Series of 2021, maybe versus the Boston Red Sox. It's all fair and love and war. We also have a Big C real estate dating app for those of you who like to swipe left and you like to swipe right. Dating is like fishing. A lot of people say they get on these internets and you can find people to date just like a worm can find a fish in the lake. It's all just swim along the mud. Wherever's muddy, you'll find something. You get hooked in your mouth. It's all fair and love and war. At least with a house, you know what that house is. You don't know who you're dating, where they were last week, or even last night. That house, you know what that house was. It doesn't leave you. It always opens the door for you as long as you got the right key, trying to help more people refinance and purchase home. Our goal is to recruit 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this great country to help put people back to work, just like McDonald's does it. Car dealerships do it, sports teams are doing it. Watch TV and real estate work for you. 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities in real estate, go to bigcsports.tacwm.com. Most of the loans are underwritten by Rocket Mortgage and United Wholesale Mortgage, the number 1 and 2 lenders in the country on the wholesale side. They just had a national mortgage convention that was in Las Vegas, just wrapping up over the last couple of days. That's a lot of good information for people in the mortgage business. Also, I want to say thank you to Xfinity Comcast TV. Give us some praise. And Comcast Spotlight for presenting Big C's Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3. God said, get Crawford some World Series media passes, please. Hold on, my producer messed up. What did it say? Oh, it said in Genesis 1, let there be light. It's such a, I'm doing this shit by myself. You try producing it. All that good old boy. At least I got lift off. Captain Kirk, the United States USS Enterprise, who's been boldly go where no man has gone before to seek out new civilizations and new frontiers and to go where no man's gone before. They put him on a real ship and he said, I got a tummy ache. I just think that's funny. Come on, Captain Kirk, are you out of freaking mind? I love Star Trek, but I thought the Enterprise was real. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, that guy, he says the captain just say I have a tummy ache. This show is also sponsored by Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% on your game. All fair and love and war. Dodger fans, Giants fans, it's cold in LA. Eat the Big C burger when you're watching the game. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. My goodness, it tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands. Isn't that right, Captain Kirk? Eating all that jello on the Enterprise. They gave him the Big C burger before he went to lift off, and he said, I got a belly ache. I can't go. I'm just thinking it's funny. I don't know why people don't see the humor in that. He said he had a tummy ache and he didn't want to go to outer space. What's all this exotic beats? Also, today's show is sponsored by Super Draft Pro Fantasy Sports by Caesars Entertainment. The website is superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. Listen to it. It's featured in Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports, Associated Press, RotoWire, Give us a Praise, and Sportico. Subscribe to unlock the exclusive fantasy games and sports betting experiences with Super Draft Pro. It's the official fantasy partner of Caesars Entertainment. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. It's all fair in Leavenworth. You can find that before the Dodgers game is over. You can find out the Dodgers and the Giants. It's a weird thing. I said this series would go 5. I could be wrong because the Dodgers have scored more points than the Giants all year long. In the games that the Giants won, they only scored 2 points. When the Dodgers won, they scored 9. I don't see them being swept. They have too many good players. I do see this going 5, and to finish out in San Francisco at beautiful McCovey Cove, beautiful downtown San Francisco. That's my opinion. I'm going to take what's called the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. And when I come back, they're going to say, I have a tummy ache. William Chapman did not want to go into space. I guess he needed a Starship. If it was warp speed, he could go into space, but he couldn't go into space with a rocket that goes about 20,000 miles per hour. All fair and level war. We'll take what's called the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. And in the words of the former California governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we are back for the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on 17 podcast applications all over the universe. 18 coming soon. Also 4 TV applications. You know, baseball is amazing. The pitch, swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. It took the girls on the long ball and men love to hit deep, but they said, wait a minute. The Dodgers didn't mean for the Giants to hit deep. It's all fair. I love LA. It's all fair and never war. I think we are going to 5 games in that series. I know Houston's already landed, and they're going to play the Red Sox. But what do you know? 2021 Major League Baseball, we've been hoping for it already here, expanding to 16 teams in 2020. Now, Major League Baseball, they return to the 10-team postseason format for 2021. And it started with a Boston Red Sox victory over the Yankees. Don't win. The New York Yankees, the I-95 rivalry. What a great game in the great Northeast in the American League wildcard game. And that was last Tuesday. The Red Sox went on, and they shocked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They shocked them. No, rumor has it really did shock them. Hey, you guys beat, you guys try. It's all fair in level war. They shocked them, good old boys. And I told you the Tampa Bay Rays wouldn't get back to the World Series. You can Google the show. They defeated them 3-1 in the ALDS series, while the Houston Astros took care of business against Tony La Russa and the Chicago White Sox. And the best thing about it is La Russa was taking a nap. He didn't even see it. No, Dusty Baker, that good old boy out of Northern California, he can manage his backside off. They brought him in to clean up all the mess that was going on down in Houston because guys were doing what they do in Texas. They cheated. If you don't cheat, then you're not a Texan. I don't know why they get that out of the National League. The Los Angeles Dodgers had a walk-off win in the wildcard game against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the crowd went nuts. The pitch, swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all friend level war. The girls love the long ball, and the men love to hit deep. They were hitting deep at Chavez or Bing. And then they came up against the best team in Major League Baseball, not just the best record, but I think the best team, and that's the San Francisco Giants. If you guys don't approve my media condition now, then come on. I know you got people coming in from all over the world. You even got Captain Kirk trying to fly in to get a media pass. He said he had a bellyache. He wouldn't get on a rocket. I just think that's funny. I'm not being cruel, but I thought the Enterprise was real. But the Dodgers knocked off the Cardinals, which was a great game. And then they resumed their rivalry with the San Francisco Giants, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. That's what they'll be doing as they head back to San Francisco, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to end tonight in Los Angeles. And then you think about the San Francisco Giants in the NLDS, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves. They meet in a divisional series of their own. And then from the first pitch of the wildcard games to the last out of the World Series. Baseball is amazing. So I want to congratulate the Houston Astros. They would be playing the Boston Red Sox, and the first game is going to take place Boston at Houston. Give them some praise down to Houston. It's going to be Friday at 5 o'clock. Let me correct that. I don't know the time, but it is Friday, October the 15th on Fox. And then that starts that series. And, how'd you get there? Because the Red Sox knocked off the Tampa Bay Rays. They won that series 3-1. And then when you look at the Houston Astros, some people were talking some crap about Dusty Baker. And Dusty Baker said, read my lips. Your season's over. It's over. All fair and level war. The Astros are a tough team. If you think about it, in 4 games in the best of 5, they got rid of the Chicago White Sox. And they beat them bad. It was 10-1 today. 10-1, a blowout. It's amazing how well they hit the ball. The Astros, the lowest scoring total in their 3 wins, they scored a 6-1 win in Game 1. They won 9-4 in Game 2. They lost 12-6 in Game 3, and they won 10-1 in Game 4. Even in their loss, they scored 6 runs. You don't think that's a tough out? You got to score at least 7 runs to beat those guys. They never scored fewer than 6 runs in this series. And they played against the White Sox, which are a good team. All fair and level war. We have Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee. I picked the Braves to get past Milwaukee in that also. In fact, Milwaukee used to be the home of the Braves, and they went down to Atlanta. And right now, a 2-1 series lead. This is a pitcher's duel. The Brewers 2-1 over the Braves in Game 1. The Braves got over on the last 2 games. They won 3-0, and then 3-0 again. So Game 2 and 3 were 3-0 by the Braves shutouts. And I think that game tonight, I won't give out scores, etc. People can watch games on DVR. But the game of the universe, in my opinion, tonight, I'm predicting the Dodgers will get a win tonight. It just feels that way. Because these teams have been neck and neck. They went right down to the last game to decide who would win the National League West. It wouldn't make any sense if the universe said, we're going to end it back in Los Angeles. So the Giants lead the series 2-1. The Giants 4, Dodgers nothing, Game 1. Game 2, Dodgers 9, Giants 2. In Game 3, the Giants won, the Dodgers nothing. So you got to give them some praise. Tonight, at Chavez Ravine, going to be a madhouse. All fair and level war. I love Major League Baseball, what they're doing to us. And they got the first pitch out. It's all fair and level war. And then William Sadler could not even go out of space. He's the captain of the Starship Enterprise. Look with the Roman and speaking of now. All fair and level war. I love what's going on in the world of sports. We all love it. I want to just bring up something more on the game because I'm out here in the West Coast, even though I cover everybody. The Giants shut up the Dodgers 1-0. They lead the NLDS 2-1. And when you think about it, this is how it's supposed to be. You got to think about this. It was about 10 years ago that the New York Giants faced off. The Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants faced off in a 3-game playoff way back in the day. And the National League pennant. The Giants won the pennant. You guys all remember that. Now, those Giants won 37 of the last 44 games to catch the surging Dodgers back then. Ending the season in identical win-losses, it was 96-58. We're going back about 100 years. Those Giants won their first 3 games in the playoffs. And the last time the Giants and Dodgers met in the postseason, something about this postseason. They're doing it the first time here. Since they moved out to California in 2021, the Giants won 21 of the last 27 games to hold off the Dodgers. Playing in the position of power this time, they cling on to a 1-game lead, and they lead the series by 1 game. Isn't that something? I think they're going to win it by 1 game, 3-2, just my opinion. They needed the season 107-55 above the 106-56 Dodgers. Tonight, the Giants also won the first time of their 3-game series. When you think about it, the Dodgers have been shut out just 7 times this season. 7! 2 of those have been against the NLDS. Logan Webb Friday night, and then when you think about what happened last night. So I'm looking at a series that goes down to the wire, and you got to just tip your hat. I know the Dodgers fans don't want to go home. The Giants fans don't want to go home. But I think everybody loves to see some great baseball. I really appreciate what we're able to see, and I think the Giants and the Dodgers, they've been so good all year long. There's no need to stop now. What's that song called? Don't stop believing. Oh, I can't hit the high notes. Don't stop believing. You understand what it is. You try to hit the high notes. I don't know the whole words, but don't stop believing. Don't stop believing if you're a Giants or a Dodgers fan. Hey, enough of that singing, man. You're blowing up my speakers. It's off for another word. We're going to take what's called the Big Z pause, also known as the Big Z timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk more about some hockey. Hockey starting off in the United States of America with fans. I'm going to take what's called the Big Z pause, also known as the Big Z timeout. In the words of the former California governor, Aubrey, I'll be back. All right, let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. Are you ready for some ice? I want some ice with that Big C burger. This segment is sponsored by the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with all this exotic meat. If you ever have some cracking, it's all spring good. In Leavenworth, Seattle has a team back. Not NBA, but they do have some NHL back. They were here a long ago in a galaxy far, far away. 2021-22 seasons ready to go with the Kraken debuting in packed arenas all over the universe. And they will have liftoff regular 82-game schedule. Returns the Winter Classic, All-Star game among the highlights. There'll be full arenas, a full schedule, we hope so. After all we've been through in the past 2 years because of COVID-19, that's enough to get excited about the 2021 and 22 NHL regular season. All-Star Leavenworth starts tonight. There's a lot going on. A team trying to become perhaps the first NHL dynasty in decades, a new team in first United States city to win the Stanley Cup, the Lord Stanley's Cup. Think about it. Not one, but two state-of-the-art arenas. The return of outdoor games, the NHL All-Star Game, and NHL players to the Olympics. A new U.S. media package with some old friends long ago in a galaxy far, far away, and Captain Kirk did not get off. Didn't get lift off. It's all fair in love and war. I tell you, everybody is so wonderful, and I feel like everybody has, you got to love what you're doing. And everybody does. At some point in time, you got to just give some praise to all the first responders, because nobody knew that we would get through this COVID issue, because, thank God, a lot of people they've been resistant, let's be honest, been resistant to the vaccine, and you want to make sure, I make sure that people give them some praise. Because first responders have a lot of stuff to deal with. And even today, a lot of people, NBA players, don't want to get vaccinated. But if they get sick, they take their butts to the doctor. So give them some praise. The most important thing is it promises to be an intense, compelling race from opening night, 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. There's 32 teams, 16 spots. It's all fair, love, and war, and it starts tonight. I wish everybody nothing but the best, especially up in the great state of Washington, Seattle. They got the Kraken. They say, let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. It's all fair in love and war. Really wishing them nothing but the best as they get ready to pursue Lord Stanley's Cup. I want to just say there's something also in the world of WNBA basketball, because the WNBA playoffs, the Chicago the Sky beat the Phoenix Mercury. They beat them, and they take a 1-0 series lead in that playoff. The story of the WNBA playoffs so far has been close to contested games. A lot of good players. Unfortunately, game one of the finals did not follow that trend. The Chicago Sky went on the road and put together a dominant performance on both ends of the floor with a 91-77 win, and Phoenix getting their butts whipped. All fair and other. I thought it'd be a closer game than that. At one point in time, you realize that it's about winning the series, not winning the game. Just like tonight, Dodgers-Giants. You got to win the series. You got to win enough games to win the series. But the same thing in WNBA finals. I'm wishing them all nothing but the best. I know there's a lot of times we think about Diana Taurasi, 17 points, rather ineffective overall. Had foul trouble all game long, but she's one of the top players. You have Brittany Griner, who went for 20.6 rebounds, 3 assists. Not quite as dominant at times, but you go on the road and get a win, you just got to tip the cap. Give this girl some praise. Give them praise. Give them all praise for winning. It's all fair and love and war. I'm going to take what's called the Big C pause, and when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about some things that are happening in the NFL. In the words of former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, right, we are back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on about 17 podcast applications and 4 TV apps all over the universe. Really appreciate that. Are you ready for some NBA basketball? Because it's coming. It's coming around that mountain very soon. Kyrie Irving, he won't play or practice until eligible. And the Nets GM, Sean Marks, says that Kyrie Irving won't join the team until he can be in full participant in the team All-Fan level war. The 75th team, the 75th anniversary team, is the season opening week. When you think about it, the league's 75th anniversary team. Give it some praise. Give that some praise. Can't wait to see that. It's going to be unveiled 25 players at a time, October 19th to the 21st. And really appreciate that. When you think about it, you can go to NBA.com for that information. NBA.com, the National Basketball Association, they announced today that its 75th anniversary team comprised of the 75 greatest players in league history. That's a lot of great players. When you look at the 75 greatest players in league history, I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number one in my opinion. Some people say Russell or Jordan or LeBron is all-friend level war. But the 75 greatest players in league history are going to be unveiled during a special edition of TNT's Tip-Off presented by CarMax and ESPN NBA Today from Tuesday, October 19th to Thursday, October 21st. Give that some praise. I love giving some of the all-time greats in place. 25 members of the team. They're going to represent cross-sections of positions and eras from throughout the NBA's rich history, a history that's so deep. Curry 4-3, always shooting from deep. He and Dollar Davis all-star level war. But it's going to be announced on each of the 3 days. The team is being selected by a blue ribbon panel of media and current former players, coaches, and also GMs, with some team executives that are also a part of that too for the NBA. TNT, they're going to unveil the 75th anniversary team on Tuesday, October 19th at 6 p.m. East Coast time, doing an extended edition of the NBA Tip-Off presented by CarMax. Yeah, give CarMax some praise. And with the Sports Emmy Award-winning studio team of Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal, as well as Kenny the Jet Smith, a 90-minute pregame show is going to air prior to the network's opening night doubleheader, featuring the defending NBA champion, Milwaukee Bucks. Give those Bucks some praise. Also sponsored by the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with all this exotic meat. And last I heard that Bucks, that venison is exotic. It's all fair in love and war. And when you think about it, the opening night, the champion Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Brooklyn Nets at 7:30 p.m. Oh my goodness, if Kevin Durant had one size smaller shoe, they would have won that game. But it's still on the line and it's tied as opposed to going to overtime. And then the Golden State Warriors, they will visit the Los Angeles Lakers at 10 p.m. East Coast time. All is going to be great. The ESPN will take over the honors on Wednesday, October 20th at 3 p.m. East Coast time when it announces 25 more members of the team during the NBA Today, the network's new daily 60-minute NBA show hosted by Makila Andrews. And then also ahead of the season opening doubleheader with the Boston Celtics facing the New York Knicks at 7:30 p.m. East Coast time. And, you know, that's going to be, hopefully, they're going to have, I mean, the crowd's going to be amazing. NBA basketball at the end of last year was so amazing because we got through COVID. And then when you think about it, the Denver Nuggets taking on the defending Western Conference champion, Phoenix Suns. Give the Suns some praise. They were rising and shining last year, and I don't know if they're going to have the same success this year, but they surprised a lot of people come out of the West last year. The final 25 members of the team will be revealed on TNT's NBA Tip-Off presented by CarMax on Thursday, October 21st at 6 p.m. East Coast time in advance of the network's presentation of the Dallas Mavericks versus the Atlanta Hawks. Those Hawks, hold on a second. This segment sponsored by the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. Last I heard, a Maverick is a horse, and a hawk. Those meats are exotic. In Love and War at 7:30 p.m. East Coast time tip-off. And the LA Clippers versus the Golden State Warriors at 10 p.m. East Coast time tip-off. Warriors, come out and play. It's all fair in Love and War. The Warriors and Steph Curry has his splash brother back. Klay Thompson's back, splashing threes from all over the court. As part of the NBA 75, the league celebration of its landmark 75th anniversary season, it's going to be great for NBA. I'm going to get a lot of help with covering NBA this year. The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famers, Clyde Drexler, Magic Johnson, Bob Pettit, Oscar Robertson, as well as 14-time NBA All-Star, the great Dirk Nowitzki, all of them good boys. Give them all some praise. Give them all praise to serve as the ambassadors of the 2021-22 season, representing different eras of the league's history. The ambassadors will make appearances throughout the 75th anniversary season. Give that some praise. I really love what the NBA is doing to pay homage to these great players that made this league. And when you think about it, they have a significant presence in the NBA All-Star Game in 2022 in Cleveland. This is for you. It's all fair in love and war. But I'm really looking forward to it. For more details on NBA 75 celebrations, including player profiles on each member of the 75th anniversary team, it's announced to visit NBA.com/75. It's all fair in love and war. You know, everything that goes on in NBA basketball is amazing. You know, we had the Celtics, Al Horford test positive for COVID-19. Obviously, everybody can test positive, but they do the protocol. He'll be fine. I'm telling you, everybody has this thought about, like, Kyrie Irving won't play. He's not even going to practice. Talk about practice, the great Allen Iverson. Practice? I'm talking about practice, man. But he won't practice until eligible, and that's what the Nets GM says. And if you're Kyrie Irving, you look at how he's had his injuries over the years. When he got injured, what did he do? He listened to the medical community, and they helped him get better again. So the Nets announced Kyrie Irving won't practice or play with the team until he's fully under the protocol. All-star guard Kyrie Irving not going to be able to play or practice with the Brooklyn Nets until he complies with the New York COVID-19 vaccination rules. And that team, yeah, you got to give New York City some praise because they got to do that. They all got to make sure that they're compliant with the COVID-19 vaccine rules, and they announced that today. In doing so, the Nets ended the idea of Irving playing only road games. No one's going to have him in their arena with a lot of older people, some elder statesmen, and part of the NBA. If the guy doesn't want to get vaccinated, he's just saying he doesn't want to play by the rules, so I don't blame him. Then he can't get in. So the Nets, they had no idea of him doing that on the road or not, but if you're an opposing team, would you have him come into your arena? You have older people that are compromised. So all this stuff goes back to Kyrie. Will he do it or will he not do it? Irving, he then joined the team at an outdoor practice on Saturday and worked out with the team on Sunday. Did not play in Brooklyn's exhibition game at Philadelphia on Monday and hasn't said that he's vaccinated, asking for privacy when he spoke to some people in media about that. So it's all fair and love and war. He's rarely had time to be with the team in New York, where a mandate requires professional athletes playing for a team in the city to have been vaccinated against COVID-19 or to play and practice in public venues such as Barclays Center. We brought you the NBA draft for Barclays Center when they did that this year. But Coach Steve Nash said that the Nets knew they were going to be missing Irving for some games, and now at least it will be, it's going to be all of them. I understand that you don't want people with compromised immunity system having problems. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Irving, the Nets were considered a favorite to win the NBA title last year. Maybe even this year, too. They were eliminated by the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round of last season's playoffs after Irving sprained his ankle and missed the final 3 games. You know what he did when he sprained his ankle? Got medical advice. So Marks wouldn't predict how long Irving would be away from the team or get into whether the team would consider even trying to trade him. That'd be stupid. You don't trade him. Just give him some time to come to his common senses, and they'll figure it out. Because there's too much going on in the world right now with people deciding that you're going to force somebody to get a medical treatment. He does have the right to say he doesn't want to do it. He can choose not to do it. But at the same time, if you don't do it, the team has a right to say, hey, not so fast, my friend, you can't come into this arena. So I think he'll do it over time. There's too much money on the line for him to say he doesn't need it. It's all fair at level work. LaMarcus Aldridge, he comes out of retirement, signs a 1-year deal with the Nets. He's a veteran big man, retired in April due to health concerns, and has been medically cleared to return to the team. Now, when you think about what he asked of the team, he averaged 19 points and 8 rebounds across 15 seasons with the Blazers, the Spurs, and the Nets. So you know he can get a standing ovation when he shows up. He's not going to get you 19 now, but he can come in and get you 12, and he can probably get you 6 rebounds and do his thing that way. LaMarcus Aldridge rejoined Brooklyn on Friday, 5 months after having retired because of the irregular heartbeat. Now, that's something that's very serious. You know what he did? went to his medical doctors, got some medical advice. Same thing with COVID. Guys should get their medical advice. Aubrey retired in April after experiencing a irregular heartbeat. In the last of the 5 games he played for the Nets, he was diagnosed with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, an abnormality that's caused a rapid heartbeat as a rookie in 2007. He's 36 years old now. He's a 7-time All-Star, averaged 19 points in a career that began when he was the number 2 pick in the 2006 NBA draft. Give that guy some praise for going to the doctor and finding out what's wrong. He proved, I'm telling you, he proved that he can still bring it. He's going to give the Nets some size in the post presence, one of the few weaknesses on a high-scoring team that often runs up and down the court. In terms of has about a $2.6 million deal, I think that they're going to be fine. They're going to get him back in the saddle again. And I know everybody has their own opinion about who's going to join what team and who's going to be where. I know everybody has their own thoughts. The Nets trade DeAndre Jordan to the Pistons. The center's going to sign with the Lakers in a buyout. That's what they're saying. Jahlil Okafor has a part to do with that deal. But everybody's going to make a choice on what gives their team the best chance to win an NBA championship. No matter what happened last year, you got to do it again this year. I mean, even look at what happened. Reports that Paul Millsap, he agrees to a deal with the Nets. A 4-time All-Star will bring additional front court depth to the team. That's already projected to win the Eastern Conference Finals. Who knows if they're going to get who's going to come out of the West? We don't know. Some people say the Lakers. You know, Phoenix did it last year. You think that maybe Denver's due? I don't think Denver's going to get over. Golden State's going to have the Splash Brothers back. The Warriors are going to be back in town. They're going to be shooting from 3. Dallas had a good team last year. You got veteran free agent Paul Millsap going to join the Brooklyn Nets. Both sides reached an agreement according to some media out there. Millsap and other candidates included Chicago Bulls, LA Clippers, and Golden State Warriors. So players are going to be moving around, going to teams that they can help win. He's only 37 years old coming up in February. So he's 36 years old now. Spent the last 4 seasons with the Denver Nuggets. You know how good Denver was the last couple of years. In fact, they were the number 1 seed at one time. Along with Utah, they were challenging Utah for the number 1 and 2 seed. But they got bounced in the playoffs. And they had the league MVP, Nikola Jokic. So when you have a veteran forward, I'll tell you, he's been in more of a reduced role in 2020. But averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds, and about 20 minutes a game. He's still a reliable contributor. The 4-time All-Star joins a championship contender in Brooklyn, which added other veterans in Patty Mills and James Johnson in the offseason. Millsap is going to be in his 16th season of his career after playing for the Utah Jazz, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Denver Nuggets. So everybody's making their run right now because they want praise and they want that championship. They want to pursue that championship. Look at the Lakers, what they're doing. The Lakers are always competitive. That's how you get 17 championships. They officially signed veteran guard Rajon Rondo, a 15-year NBA veteran, to the Los Angeles Lakers after playing with the Clippers last season. And when you think about it, they signed Rajon Rondo. It was announced today by Vice President of Basketball Operations, General Manager Rob Pelinka. And now the terms are not revealed yet. They got Russell Westbrook. They got Rajon Rondo. Of course, you got LeBron James and Davis. They have some all-star pedigree. And so the Lakers are going to be in the thick of things. I hear LeBron's lost like 18 pounds. Give him some praise. I don't know where he lives, but he's all muscle anyway. But give him some praise. So the Lakers are geared up to make another run at an NBA Finals. And Rondo appeared in 45 games, 3 starts for the Hawks and Clippers last season. Averaged about 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. 17 minutes, or shot 40% from the floor. He's a defensive stopper. He's a guy that's like a coach on the floor. He returns to Los Angeles, averaging 8.1 points, 4.1 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and about a steal a game in 94 games for the Lakers in 2018 and 20, helping them win in 2020 NBA championship. Don't take it. Give him some praise. Got to give Rondo some praise. That's why they call him Playoff Rondo. A 15-year veteran. He's played at 918 games, 732 starts for the Clippers. Give him some praise. Keep giving that good old boy some praise. Don't stop now. Don't stop believing. And think about it. For the Clippers, the Hawks, the Pelicans, the Bulls, the Kings, the Mavericks, the Celtics, and the Lakers, career averaging, that good old boy has been staying in shape doing his thing, Rajon Rondo. averages 10 points, 4.6 assists, 8 rebounds, and about a steal and a half in about 30 minutes a game. The two-time NBA champion, one with the Celtics, one with the Lakers, and when you think about it, has appeared in 134 playoff games. That's why they call him Playoff Rondo. 134 of anything is a lot, especially traffic tickets. With 134 playoff games, 105 starts for the Clippers, the Pelicans, the Bulls, the Mavericks, the Celtics, the Lakers. That good boy's been doing his thing. That's why he's Playoff Rondo. And while he was doing his thing, averaging 12.5 points, 6 rebounds, 8.5 assists, and about 2 steals in 35 minutes per game. That's what you gotta like about him. It's all fair and level war. NBA basketball is fantastic. I mean, the Lakers are showing how serious they are about winning. Lakers announced contract extension for head coach Frank Vogel. He was hired prior to the Lakers championship season 2019 and 20. Wasn't really the favorite to be chosen, but they brought him in. The Lakers announced Friday night that they've extended the contract of head coach Frank Vogel. And so that happened obviously back in August, but he had signed a 3-year deal ahead of the 2019-20 season and led the Lakers to a championship season. The franchise record tied in 17th. So the Lakers are ready. The Golden State Warriors are ready. The Denver Nuggets are ready. I'm not going to say Utah Jazz. They're always there, and then they get knocked out. But the Suns, you got to keep an eye on the Suns also. I think even this year, the Sacramento Kings are going to end their NBA playoff drought. They'll make a playoff drought and it's one of the play-in games. Going to give the Kings some praise. There'll be 2 teams from Northern California that make the playoffs, all stand up and war. And I think because of the Kings, it's just time for that drought to be over, and they have a young team that's been through the grind, and I think they'll make their turn around this year for the Sacramento Kings. Give the Kings some praise, that beautiful Golden Run Center that also has a media credential for Big C Sports All-Star in Level War. But I just know that NBA basketball is back. It's fantastic. Major League Baseball is back, and in the saddle looking for the World Series champion. I think it's going to come out of the West. I mean, you can't look too past Houston. Houston's amazing. Boston's been amazing. I think Boston's overachieving, but why stop now? They're overachieving, and Houston's pitching is really tough. I mean, even in their loss, they scored 6 runs. That's a team Dusty Baker has them on all cylinders, all fair and level war. I do like the Giants coming out of the National League, and it's kind of a toss-up between Boston and, of course, Houston, because you just got to score a lot of points to beat Houston. Isn't that something? If Dusty returns to the Bay Area with the Astros, and they get knocked out by the Giants, all fair and level war, a lot of orange in the seats. But Vogel, back to the NBA, Vogel earned Western Conference Coach of the Year honors the month back in October, November. In that debut year, I think he had a franchise record tied 17-2 start to the season. But that's what the Lakers got. I mean, you got a guy like LeBron getting praise, getting slam dunks, getting guys to play like they want to win, have that championship mentality. You're going to have a lot of success. Vogel also got the Lakers to the league's #1 ranked defense last season. People don't think about that. Defense wins championships in football. It also does it in basketball. They had the #1 ranked defense last season, which is the 3rd time Vogel's career that he's done that. It's all fair and level war. We wish everybody nothing but the best. I know a lot of good old boys. They're ready to get the basketball bouncing. The hockey sticks drop of the night. Them good old boys all around the NBA putting everything on ice. You know what goes good with ice? The Big C burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meat. You want ice on your Big C burger? All this exotic meat. I'm going to take this Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. When I come back, I'm going to close with what's going on with John Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders, in the words of the former California governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 17 podcast applications all over the universe. Really appreciate that. And 4 TV applications. Now I want to get back to loose lips, sink ships. And I didn't say anybody's race, unlike John Gruden. But I want to also say, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Give that some praise. Everybody's pointing fingers. Is he a bad man? I don't know the man personally. I've only met him a couple of times. But I do know he has what's called white skin privilege. I saw it when I was in college. Most everyone I ever saw using drugs, they were white kids. None of them ever went to jail for it. They were not even pressured by law enforcement. I know many of them. They grew up their whole lives doing all kind of junk and a lot of people in jail. But they never got bothered. I know them personally. So when I think about what Jon Gruden finally got fired for after getting $40 million for the Raiders, he didn't walk away from $60 million. He didn't step down. He got fired. They had no choice. So Jon Gruden, for good reason, steps down or got fired. Racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, gay remarks, other hurtful remarks. I heard a lot of people. And he was America's media darling. They wanted him to be the spokesperson for the Raiders because Mark Davis loves him, supposedly. I saw Al Davis yelling at him, but they called Al Davis a maverick for a reason, wanted things done the right way. And no matter what people think about it, I don't know the whole situation about it. But when I think about Jon Gruden and what happened with the organization when he was dealing in media, you can't tell me that nobody knew what he was like. And I'm not trying to stand here and grandstand because I think he who is without sin cast the first stone, and nobody would cast a stone. I would love to see if someone like a Jon Gruden could be not just thrown under the bus, because obviously if he lasted that long, then there had to be something good about him that people like. Unless you're just full of it, and all the people that were hiding him, if they were just full of it, maybe they were. But he's going to be the one thrown under the bus because of what he said. It came out of his heart. But he wasn't the only one that knew about it. In the emails detailed by the New York Times, the Raiders coach Jon Gruden casually used misogynistic and homophobic language to disparage people. And that's horrible. That couldn't happen in corporate America. But we know it goes on. It just goes on behind closed doors. So in a post-game news conference Sunday, he addressed the media and about some emails that has racist tropes. Also described Damari Smith, an African-American NFL Players Association president. And he had some really derogatory things to say about him that a lot of African-Americans have had to suffer through. The Raiders have no room for racism or end racism in their end zone in Las Vegas. Jon Gruden stepped down Monday as coach of Las Vegas Raiders. When you think about it, the New York Times detailed the emails which made this homophobic and misogynistic remarks fall in an earlier report of racist statements about a union leader. It wasn't just Gruden. He's going to be the one thrown under the bus, but his resignation is striking departure from the Football League for a coach who had won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's players. They got rid of Dungy, brought in Gruden with Dungy's players, and he won. Outside of Dungy's players, he's had a losing record in the league. But he's white, so he gets a $100 million contract. Just like a lot of white Americans, if they're honest. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying they're the only group. I'm saying what I went to school with, they never got in trouble. Nearly every black American that I've known has gotten into some type of trouble or detained or followed because of suspicion. I know white people that are drinking and driving, doing their marijuana, their cocaine, their drugs. I've gone to many meetings with media and also mortgage industry, and 99% of them Caucasian. And they can't wait to go find some dope when the meetings are over. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So I don't believe, oh my God, we can't believe he's that way. I'm shocked when people are not that way. But I'm shocked when people think, oh my God, I can't believe this happens. All throughout history, it's called white skin privilege. You can have a criminal record and you'll get favor. There are people that are drunk driving all the time, alcoholics, drug abusers, drug users, do all kind of stuff that's illegal. All kind of garbage. I've seen it with my own two eyes. But they get the pass, like Jon Gruden got a pass. So he said, and people know it's true, raise your hand if you know anyone in your family that's ever done drugs. I never have. I know people who have. I hardly know any white person that I've ever met that hasn't used some type of marijuana or cocaine or ecstasy. I'm just being honest. And that's what I saw in college and out of college. And have seen it as recently as the last couple of years. At major meetings with people you consider are leaders in community. They're out looking for all the... why do you think the cannabis industry is growing so much? Who owns that? That's not run by African Americans. So his resignation is a striking departure from the Football League and how they're saying they're anti-racism, anti-discrimination. He said he will resign as the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. He said that in a Twitter statement issued by the team. He loves the Raiders and did not want to be a distraction. And thank you to all the players and coaches and staff and the fans of the Raider Nation. And that he's sorry he never meant to hurt anybody. Really? So what were those words meant to hurt? the racism, the anti-Semitism, misogynistic statements, the gay slurs, all that. If it's not meant to hurt, what's it for? It's just telling you that John Gruden is an environment. Read the book, The Color of Law, and a lot of white Americans, they get away with that trap. They'll go to the bars when the games are over. What do you see? Mostly Caucasian people drinking to the last minute until they cut off the tab. They get in their cars and drive home. They don't get followed by law enforcement. Black people do. I know I've had it. It's happened to me many times, get pulled over. People have gotten together to try to destroy black men over the same garbage, trying to destroy their families, trying to do disparaging things to destroy black families and black children by taking the fathers out of their homes. That's been since the civil rights movement. It's nothing new. The only thing is new is when people pretend like, oh my God, I'm so shocked. How are you shocked? Go to any sports bar and watch what happens before they close the bar. 90% Caucasian, most of them drinking. Get right in the car, drive home. There's no large presence of law enforcement, but I got followed, and I don't even drink when I'm out. I got followed, though, and questioned. They let me go. I know many white people never been followed, never been questioned. I know them personally. So Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, said in a statement that he had accepted the resignation, and obviously he had no choice. But the NFL got to get real. They just got to be honest. This stuff goes on in society. There's nothing to be surprised about. The only surprise is that he got a $100 million contract, even though people knew he was like that. Because what he saw and what he did was no different than the mainstream that I saw in college. I'm just being honest. Most of the people that I saw using drugs, drinking and driving on alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, LSD, they were white kids. All, I say 90% of them. 90%. And that's just who I know. None of them can tell you they've ever been arrested or even police profile. So John Gruden's just a product of his environment because it's happened that if he can get a job and many black men can't even get an interview, and he had all that baggage on an email, and they keep telling, well, we don't know if the guy's, we don't know we're ready yet. We don't know, we're not ready yet. But you can be what John Gruden is, and it's in writing, guys. And he got $100 million. It didn't stop him. So quit acting surprised when, oh my God, I'm surprised. You're not surprised. Just look at what happens all over the country. People get a pass. It's called white skin privilege. Read The Color of Law. If that's too deep for you, read the Criminal Commission. It happens time and time again. There have been so many efforts to destroy the black families and black boys by the criminal justice system, and they will come into your family and try to destroy it. They wouldn't do the same thing to their own. And you know it's true. So I'm not surprised about John Gruden. I'm surprised that people act surprised. Back in the day, there's a man by the name of Wnba Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, you rumble, young man rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? And he says, I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee because of all these exotic meats. Wnba Brown said, why are you eating so many exotic meats, Ali? Ali said, because it makes me light on my feet. It makes me float like a butterfly. It makes me sting like a bee. I feel like I can rumble, young man rumble. With all I've got to use, how can I lose with all these exotic meats? I love the tasty burger. It's a tasty burger. My mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, pick up the phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. John Gruden, listen. No, there's no room for racism or domestic violence in this country. No one should ever be intimidated or threatened by any knucklehead person. If they do, go to the police. File a report. No one has to put up with that crap. No man, woman, or child. If you know anyone going through it, pick up the phone and ask for help. Because nobody should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. You hear that, John Gruden? And anybody else that does that crap. As we always tell you on every Big City Sports Show, we thank you. We appreciate you. And hope that you have a super fantastic day.